Welcome into Pleasant Grove High School for Lone Peak basketball on the Rewind Sports Network as the Lone Peak Knights come back to face on an in-state opponent as they prepare to take on the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Excited to bring you this contest here tonight between former but no longer region rivals in Lone Peak and Pleasant Grove. We'll start by introducing the visiting Knights. Lone Peak coming in at 4-3 on the season, coming off a pair of losses in the Holiday Hoop Fest. But boy, they played some extremely talented teams from out of state, and Coach Warner hoping that helps this team continue to grow as they try to find big or new key contributors for this group. But they've got familiarity back on this roster for Coach Warner, including Kennedy Woolston. The seniors had a fantastic career, will continue to play beyond this her senior year. She's committed to BYU, but all about trying to help this Lone Peak team get back and stay back on top of all of 6A. Great contributors around her with Toddy Harness, Huni Falau, Charlie Warner. There's a lot of pieces. There's some injuries that Lone Peak is having to deal with, fight through. We'll see if they can overcome that here tonight. Meanwhile, for Pleasant Grove, first year coach Angela Villa, what a job she has done. 8-0 are the Vikings out of the gate. They've been impressive wins over American Fork, Bingham, and Skyridge. This has been a roster that's had a ton of talent come in here to Pleasant Grove. Names that are familiar, including Zuri Nordstrom, Janice Sikander, and then you've got some other players like Tabby Clark, Sutton Villa, who's the daughter of Coach Villa. This is a very talented roster for PG across the lineup, as the opening tip is controlled by the Vikings here at Valhalla. PG wearing the home whites, Lone Peak in the road blacks as we are underway. This is Zuri Nordstrom. An opening three is good for Pleasant Grove as the Vikings strike first, and Zuri, Lone Peak fans know that. She can certainly shoot it. A corner three here on the other end. That bounces out, and the rebound captured by Villa for the Vikings. Sikander coming ahead. This is Janice, the junior, handing off with Cash Connors. And now Tabby Clark. Tabby, 20 points per game. She's been great, and a foul going to be called here on Kennedy. This will be her first as she's called for the block. Want to remind you, the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we start it early, stop it late, that sort of thing, as we try to do our best to keep it synced up with the official clock here in the gym. As this is Harness defending the ball there. They loop in for Villa, help coming backside, and count the bucket. And boy, a big one here as Kennedy has just picked up her second personal, as Villa able to catch that pass, go up and through the contact. Her first points tonight. And Sutton Villa now to the free throw line. A chance here at a three-point play is Portia Bogus here running to the table to check in. And Villa hits it. Stepping into the Vikings, number 45, Bogus on the floor here for Woolston, having just picked up her second. PG zone look here defensively. This is Harness. Straight away, she'll take the three offline, and this rebound goes to Clark. Tabby pushing ahead, has Sikander to her left. Three-point try, no. And Charlie Warner had the rebound knocked away. It'll go back to Lone Peak. It's one where, talking with Coach Warner, she knows this is a very talented PG team. An opportunity for her team to continue to go up against great talent, learn and grow as they try to defend their 6A title. Corner three here for the Knights won't go on that shot from Pope. A rebound captured by Pleasant Grove. Clark pushing it ahead. Harness there defensively. Here's Villa. She'll try the three. That one off the line. Rebound goes to Harness, and it will be Lone Peak basketball. Couple minutes in here. There's Harness bringing it up. She'll work with Warner. Charlie defended there by Nordstrom. In the paint, Harness not a lot of room to work with. Nice dump off to Portia. Oh, too strong on the look. Boy, they got it right to the rim. Was a great job getting that right inside. Just couldn't capitalize on it. Now back up the floor here with PG. Long three from Nordstrom. And a timeout taken here by Lone Peak. 9-0. The start for the undefeated Vikings. Watching Lone Peak basketball on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. I want to thank Jace, a proud sponsor here of Lone Peak basketball on KSLSports.com. The right meds the moment you need them. Check out Jace at jase.com. Use the discount code Lone Peak to get a discount on your purchase. Open look at a three here for Warner. Off the front of the rim, loose ball out of play, and it will stay here with the Knights. Kennedy Wilson coming back on the floor is one of the elements Coach Warner knew Kennedy was going to have to play inside, and with the two personals checking in here as they try to go back. That is last touch by PG again. And will be Lone Peak to inbound baseline. Inbound to Woolston, her three, no. Ball coming near side, Clark able to track it down. And now PG on the push. Here's Sikander, back up top, Clark will try the three, that one's good. Boy, the three-point shooting here early for PG. They've hit 3 threes in the first 3.5 minutes. Of course, the other 3 points coming on a three-point play by Villa. In the corner. And a reach here going to be called on Sikander. This will be on Aaliyah. A sophomore checked in for Pleasant Grove. As Peyton Warner now checking in for Lone Peak as well. As Charlie will get a break. Catch and shoot for Woolston. No, and the rebound goes to Janice Sikander. Zuri sending near side. And now PG will set up the offense. Zone look here for the Knights. Villa from the junction sends out Clark. Another look at a three and another make. This PG team shoots 39% from beyond the arc coming into this game. They are well above that here in the opening frame. Harness gives back to Warner. Peyton's off the window, no. Tried to get her own rebound, had that knocked aside, and now we've got dual possession jump ball. Here's the arrow, will leave it with Lone Peak. Bogus checking back in here for the Knights. Villa going to get a break here for Pleasant Grove. They still have Clark on the floor, but maybe an opportunity for Lone Peak to try to work it inside. This is Woolston in the paint working around. Nice feed over to Portia, is fouled. Boy, and PG fans might say she got a lot of basketball, but there's contact with the body as she's going into Portia that time. They do call it actually with the contact across the wrist and across the shot. It doesn't matter, it would have been on the shot anyways. Portia here to the line looking for the first points for Lone Peak. And that one won't go. Just saw the officials say though his arms came down a little bit as he was explaining the call to Coach Villa. She didn't seem to have a ton of discontent with that explanation as Charlie Warner checking back in here for the Knights. As Wilson will come off the floor here. Again, has those two personals. So Coach Warner going to have to navigate that, especially the rest of this first half, as Portia, her second free throw here at the line, that's no good. And Portia nearly able to get that back, but she was last to touch, and it will go back here to Pleasant Grove. Had a little clock mishap there. Our apologies. 3.5 to play here in our first quarter. Here's Aaliyah Sikander around the screen. Gives to Janice. They'll work into Via. Portia saves that back in. Great defensive play there. And now Lone Peak trying to push it up. Charlie with it inside. Portia, contact there. She'll head back to the free throw line, as it will be Nordstrom here picking up her first personal. Well, I like Lone Peak attacking there, trying to take advantage of some space before PG can get back. Opportunity for Portia here to get 2 more free throws. There you go. As now Lone Peak will bring Jamie King into the game. One of the seniors for Coach Warner in this night team. Portia's second free throw is good. Nice response there. Sikander handing off now. Nordstrom looking for somewhere to go, and foul called inside. This is called on Portia. Be her first personal. 14 foul on Lone Peak in this first quarter. 3 on PG. As Nordstrom here to inbound. Sikander. Harness staying right with her. Nice D. Via tried to get it back, deflected there by Portia. Harness able to track it down in the corner. And now we've got tie up. Yeah, dual possession, as it will be Pleasant Grove possession. Lone Peak defense, they're starting to get some hands in passing lanes, trying to fight back in this one. Nordstrom throwing in for Clark. Tabby has the 2 made threes. She's shooting 50% from beyond the arc in the early part of the year. And Tabby Clark high off the window, that'll count. As she'll have an opportunity for a 3-point play as this foul called on Peyton Warner. And that will be the first on the freshman guard for Lone Peak. And meanwhile, Tabby will head to the line, and PG right now just scoring in groups of 3. See if Tabby can continue that here. No, that free throw off the front of the rim, tapped out, and it will be Lone Peak basketball. That pass deflected. It will stay here. We've got a time. Nope. Yeah, I thought I heard timeout. Yeah, timeout taken. Full timeout. We'll step aside, be back. Lone Peak basketball after this.
With a Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Welcome back. Lone Peak to inbound here. Now the timeout. Woolston goes back to Toddy. Harness off the window. No, they say before the shot. That will not count. Is this foul called on Janice? Be the first personal on Janice. His first free throw. Good for Harness. As Maddie Pope checking in here. Two for two. A little pressure here by Lone Peak. PG able to pass through it. Skander will give back now inside via. Trying to track down her miss, had it off her foot, and it's back to Lone Peak. (17-4), the advantage here early for PG. Caught there by Pope, she'll send back up top. Warner. Given here to Pope, 15-footer, straight away, good. Confident looking shot there for Maddie Pope, a sophomore, with her first field goal tonight as we approach 1 minute left here in our opening quarter. Here's Villa, top of the paint. She'll take the 15-footer off the glass and good. 5 first quarter points for the 6'6" sophomore Sutton Villa for PG. 6 for Zuri, 8 for Tabby Clark. Those are your 3 scorers for PG. 2 apiece for Harness, Pope, and Portia for Lone Peak. As with it here, turns around, denied. And that is PG basketball, the length there of Sutton Villa coming up with the denial. And you see how quick she got across the lane. And that reach, boy, just tough to go against. Extremely talented. Working inside, that pass got deflected by Pope. Now here comes Maddie. Numbers for Lone Peak. Pope. Corner 3 from Warner, no. And Nordstrom able to corral the loose ball. Inside 10 to play. Zuri coming ahead. Gonna take the 3. No, and that will do it for the opening quarter. 19-6 PG with a strong start here at home. You're watching Lone Peak basketball on the Rewind Sports Network. Start of the second quarter. Strong start for PG. 4 made threes in that opening quarter for the Vikings. Lone Peak had a couple looks for 3, have not been able to capitalize on them yet. We'll see if they can find better shooting here in this second quarter. Step in, there's Tati Harness with a confident looking jumper. And we've seen Lone Peak, a couple free throws now, a couple field goals. I feel like maybe starting to get some of that confidence back as boy, Woolston nearly had that stop, but it finds its way back to Villa. And Sutton able to start off the second quarter for the PG offense with a bucket. That one nearly taken away by Sikander. Woolston with it here. Will hand to Harness. She'll try the 3. That one won't go. Batted around, and a loose ball foul here going to be called on Lone Peak. This will go on Pope, I believe. The first on Maddie. Nordstrom lobbing in. That pass off the mark. It's back to Lone Peak. Harness bringing the ball ahead. Charlie, extra pass in the corner. Pope, she'll send out. Falau thought about it, finds Wilson. Her three is short. A rebound to Sutton. Clark. The screen there from Villa. She'll skip over. Sikander's three. No. Offensive board inside. A foul called as it was Cash Connors able to get the offensive rebound. She'll head to the line here as the foul called on Charlie Warner. I think that's her first, but the second team foul on Lone Peak in this second quarter. As Connors to the free throw line, the senior. Good on her first. Peyton Warner checking back in here for Lone Peak. As Connors makes them both. PG staying with that zone. It's been good here early. Nice pass inside. Tabby Clark with the block. Boy, great offense. They get Warner the basketball, but that defensive PG slid over. A nice defensive play. Here's Tabby now trying to take this ball inside, and a foul here going to be called on Harness. Will be her first, I believe, and the third team foul on Lone Peak is Woolston will come off the floor here. And that's going to be team foul number 4. Charlie just called for her second. So PG now will be shooting free throws the rest of this first quarter. Should there be any fouls called on Lone Peak. And an offensive foul called here on PG. This away from the basketball, going to go on Sikander, I believe. They called it on Janice. I couldn't tell if they were calling it on Janice or on Aaliyah. It is on Janice. Her second. Peyton Warner skips over. Harness has some room here from 15. No. And the rebound brought down by Nordstrom. Zuri up with Janice. Sikander. Couple screens there. Sikander lost her footing. Worked inside, tapped to Nordstrom. And the first 2-point field goal for Zuri this evening. That one ripped away by Janice. Nordstrom. Here's Villa. 12-footer, no, just rimmed out. Lone Peak gonna push it. Harness over to Portia, and she walked with it. Saw Villa coming over and kind of knew she needed a little more real estate. Turnover there for the Knights is Jamie King and Kennedy Woolston both checking back in here for Lone Peak. Here's Aaliyah. Space, a long three is good. Aaliyah Sikander getting in on the fun for PG, her first made triple. That was a long three for the sophomore, Charlie Warner. That three won't go. Portia with the board, and she's fouled inside. Portia gonna head back to the free throw line here for Lone Peak as Connors called for the personal. I think that's the third on Cash Connors. Coach Villa now working to her bench is, looks like Tuia Soa ready to check in here. As Portia's first free throw, just rimmed out. Has one more here as we hit the midway point of this second quarter. That one off the mark. Portia knew it immediately, but couldn't get there, and that one thrown away. It'll be back to Lone Peak. Send back out to Charlie Warner. There's a little space up top. Sends to Peyton, now back. Long three from Peyton Warner, no. Tried to save in. That's still in play. The official there does say it does hit that end line. So now Lone Peak to inbound baseline. Warner trying to go off the window, no. King able to track that down, and then the foul given here by PG. Maele called for her first. As Villa going to check back in here for PG. 3 team fouls on the Vikings, 4 on Lone Peak in this second quarter. Woolston off the inbound. Has to dribble this out. Back to Kennedy. Her three-point shot is good. Kennedy Woolston with the three for Lone Peak. Her first points tonight coming from long range. Great job freeing up a little bit of room for Kennedy to get that three away and hit it. Sikander, Aaliyah plays back out with Nordstrom. Kennedy able to deflect that away, saved in, but it finds its way to Woolston, and a foul given here by Sikander. As this will be on Janice. That's her third. So Janice and Cash Connors, 2 starters for the Vikings, each with 3 personal fouls here inside the 3-minute mark of this second quarter. Our apologies, the score is 28-12. We had it wrong on our screen. 28-12 is your score. Lone Peak basketball. Here's Falau. Into the teeth of that D, kicks out. Kennedy, same spot, same result. Back-to-back threes for Kennedy Woolston. Much needed for the Knights. As this one, we've got a foul called on Lone Peak. This will go on Peyton Warner. Be her her second, my apologies, but 15 foul. It'll be 2 free throws coming up here for Zuri Nordstrom. Mentioned Kennedy Woolston, her sister Kaylee Woolston in the house tonight, cheering on those 2 Kennedy threes. Zuri's first free throw, good. Of course, Kaylee, what a career she had. Set state records in her time at Lone Peak. Now at BYU. Kennedy committed to BYU as well as Nordstrom hits them both. 30-15 your score. Harness, her three, just a touch long off the back of the rim. Rebound brought down by Pleasant Grove as we approach the 2-minute mark here in this second quarter. Sikander around the screen, step back. Nice close out there by Falau. Nordstrom on the drive, tough runner in the paint, scoop and score for Zuri Nordstrom. She's up to 12, leading all scorers tonight. And Villa called here on the foul as Falau attacking inside. He's going to be rewarded here with the trip to the free throw line. His first personal on Sutton Villa. And Huni Falau, the sophomore, with 2 free throws. Chance for her first points of the contest. That is the first up and good. Maddie Pope checking back in here for Lone Peak. Meanwhile, for Pleasant Grove, they will bring on Ruby Mossman, the 5'9" freshman. This Falau's second free throw. Good, makes them both. Sikander back to Zuri inside. Mossman plays that out. Villa, high post. Hands off, Clark. 12-footer in the lane is good. Boy, the shooting percentage for PG in this first half has been great. Other end, Charlie Warner able to run up the floor and scored for the Knights her first points tonight. Coming with just over a minute to go, and a timeout taken here by PG. Timeout Vikings, 1 to go, 34-19. PG leading Lone Peak here on the Rewind Sports Network. Pleasant Grove basketball. Villa works to Clark. Baseline jumper, no. That rebound finds its way to Falau. Lone Peak on the run. Falau gives back to Woolston. Harness works back. Pope now in the corner. Kennedy giving to Maddie. Here's Charlie. Her three, no. Hit off the front of the rim and skipped over, and now PG can take the last shot of the half. Clark working inside for Villa, no. Woolston, great job of fronting and denying. Lone Peak on the run, back to Kennedy. Too strong. Harkness with the board, over to Falau, yes. And Lone Peak will take advantage of the last bucket of the half and hope that momentum can carry them into the locker room as we take our halftime break. 34-21, PG leading Lone Peak as we've reached the half here at Valhalla. Pleasant Grove basketball, and PG jumped out to a 15-0 lead in this one, led by as many as 20. Lone Peak's been able to kind of match them since that point. Obviously clawed back because it's a 13-point deficit, but nice block inside. Pope coming over on the help. Like this Lone Peak team, they've not given up. And there's one thing about Coach Nancy's squad is, boy, they get stronger and stronger each game, and we've seen them really evolve in this game as well. But boy, the shooting of PG was just phenomenal in that first half. They made 5 threes as a team. And Lone Peak has just 2, made by Kennedy Woolston. Kennedy here near side will get it back. She'll take a shot. Ooh, just missed. That was online. The rebound goes to Clark. Tabby was great in that first half, 10 points unofficially. We mentioned for Missouri. She had 12 to lead the way for PG as a rebound brought down here by Woolston, and she's trying to push it up the floor quickly. Kennedy will give back. Harness between that D. Good ball movement. Charlie, her three, finds Harness. And that denied inside. Couple of blocks in that first half for PG. Charlie gives back. Kennedy, her third three of the game. It's a 10-point contest. They've cut that deficit now in half. Villa working to Connors. That one disrupted. Falau got a hand in the passing lane. Charlie pushing ahead for Lone Peak. Woolston with space, up and good. It's down to single digits. 11 now for Kennedy Woolston. Lone Peak staying in that zone. Sikander plays back up. Here's Clark now. Sikander gives over. Tabby, her three, good. Her third three coming into this game. She shot 50% from long range. Mid-range from Pope won't go. Rebound brought down by Connors. Woolston knocking that away from behind, now getting back defensively in the paint. Nordstrom trying to drive baseline, and a three in the key violation. Gonna go back to the Knights. Aaliyah Sikander checking in here for Coach Villa. Staying in that 2-3. Here's Harness. Has Falau in the corner. Now we'll dribble up. Woolston catch and shoot. Other side. No. Nordstrom with the board. Clark hits another one. Timeout, Lone Peak. Back-to-back threes from Tabby Clark have pushed it back up to 14. Lone Peak basketball. Boy, got it down to 8. 6-point surge by Clark. Harness able to make one of those back. First three today for Tati Harness. She's a good shooter in her own right. 50% coming into this one from long range. Nordstrom coming over to Sikander. High post, Villa, she'll turn around, junction J. No, rebound to Charlie Warner. Lone Peak trying to push here again. Charlie worked inside to Pope. Thought she maybe had an opportunity to go right to the rim, and Maddie here going to be called for the foul. Second personal on Maddie. I love that decision, though, to push it. We've seen Lone Peak really try to run the floor, take advantage of some of their athleticism, their speed. It's worked. As they've been trying to mount this comeback. Nordstrom. Oh, good positioning for Villa. Woolston trying to stay vertical, able to disrupt it. Villa missed the shot. Pushing up the floor, a step in front of Woolston. Lone Peak will give it back. 7 made threes tonight for PG. Villa in the lane, left it short. Kept here, back inside to Sutton. Count the bucket. And one. Opportunity for Sutton Villa. As the foul called here on Pope. I think that's her third. Yes, it is. So Villa here with an opportunity for the and one. No. And a loose ball foul on Zuri. Will be Lone Peak basketball. First team foul for PG in this third quarter. Lone Peak with a pair of them. Ooh, Nordstrom nearly with the steal. Harness from the corner. Short. Able to get her own rebound. Woolston sends back up top. PG still in that 2-3. Been in it, I think, all game. Warner's three, no. Boy, Lone Peak has had some looks from long range tonight. Nordstrom, other end. Boy, she'll make you pay. Her third three tonight. Woolston to answer it. No. Tapped over. Zuri with the board. Going to send this up for Sikander. Just kept her feet in. Nice bounce there by Aaliyah. Clark on the trail. Timeout, Lone Peak. Sikander, or Nordstrom and Clark with back-to-back threes. Push the lead back up for the Vikings. Nearing the 2-minute mark in this third quarter. 9 threes now for PG in the contest. 5 of those by Tabby Clark. Oh, nice response, King there for Lone Peak. Her first field goal, it's a 3. Connors working inside, Mossman here, defended by Pope. Good D staying vertical, Clark. Give over to Sikander. 10 on the shot clock here for the Vikings. Janice straight away. Wow, the first point tonight for Janice Sikander by my records coming on that 3. She averages 12 per game. The way that Clark and Nordstrom have been shooting tonight, she hasn't had to score a lot. As Woolston here dribbling out of trouble. Oh, nice drive there by Peyton Warner. Able to flow that up past a couple of defenders. Good help there by Woolston defensively, passing to the paint, couldn't be handled. Lone Peak now trying to run it. Charlie up ahead for Peyton. 30 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Here's Clark. Defended by Peyton. Charlie called, or Peyton here called for the foul. Her third. Villa going to check in here for PG. Looking inside. Here's Villa on the block. Turn around, count it. Nice touch at the rim. Woolston, the half-court shot is off the line, and that will do it for the third. 53-36 PG out in front as we head to the fourth quarter here from Valhalla. Fourth quarter here at Valhalla. The Vikings jumped out early in this one. They've led for the duration. PG trying to improve to 9-0 as opening possession, a missed three on the floor, rolled over, and now Lone Peak. They've got numbers. Kennedy Woolston played over, blocked by Clark. Here's Kennedy. Warner dribbling out of the corner. Now double team gives to Harness. Good ball movement here. Falau back with Pope. Boy, that defense active for PG. Coming up with a steal. Here's Sikander. Knocked away from behind by Falau. Will allow this Lone Peak defense to reset. Villa with the bucket off the inbound play. She's now in double figures. Unofficially 19 for Tabby Clark, 15 for Nordstrom, and now 11 for Villa as this runner just comes off the rim for Woolston. Kennedy with 11 tonight. 7 for Tati Harness. A lot of contributors for Lone Peak after that. This three too strong. Offensive board kept here. Not disrupted. Sikander sends up top. Clark again. Short. Aaliyah with the board. Here's Tabby. Villa. Sikander, tough look. Pushing up to Charlie. Lone Peak continuing to run the floor. Nordstrom. Dribble it out off her foot. It'll be Lone Peak basketball. 5.5 to go here. Cash Connors checking in for Pleasant Grove. Woolston. Charlie, she'll try the three and hits it. Mentioned Lone Peak had looks at threes early, could not hit them at the pace PG was, really created the separation that they've not been able to get back from as Harness here called for the foul at half court. Be the first team foul on Lone Peak in this fourth quarter. And for Harness, I believe her second. While we have a moment, want to thank our sponsor here of Lone Peak Basketball and the Rewind Sports Network. The right meds the moment you need them. Check out jase.com. That's JASE.com. And use the discount code Lone Peak to get a discount on your meds at jase.com. Inside, Connors, no. And that one last touched by PG. Woolston coming down to knock that ball away and went out off of Cash, off her knee. It'll be Knight possession. Oh, nice step by Harness around the defense. Sikander. Show patience here. And, foul called here. Woolston nearly had the interception, but Pope going to be called here for the personal. It'll be the fourth on Maddie. As Pope, going to come off the floor here. They'll bring Jamie King on. Inside shot wouldn't go, and a loose ball foul. Boy, Nordstrom hitting the floor hard. And she gets back up to her feet. And foul called on Peyton Warner, her fourth. Mentioned Lone Peak, they will take to the road. Holiday tournament time for the Knights. Our next stream will be on January 6th as Lone Peak will return home to take on Farmington in a crossover game, Region 3 and Region 1. Is foul here on the inbound, called on Charlie. Be her third. And officials here, I think, just making sure the team fouls are correct. The scoreboard shows 4. That might have been resetting the shot clock as well. 14 fouls on Lone Peak. Sikander. Here's Harness. Payne took a little bump there, couldn't get the shot to go. PG thought there was a violation. Come up the floor here, and a foul given by Lone Peak will send Sikander to the line. As if this is on Charlie, it is. That's her fourth. As Pope will come back to the table here for the Knights. Three and a half to play here in regulation. Sikander good on the first. And Janice goes 2 for 2. In the corner, King, her 3, touch strong. Sikander able to track it down. Now looking for the clear. Here's Nordstrom. Takes the 3, no. Tracked down by Connors to give it here for Pleasant Grove. Oh, Harness nearly had that steal. Back to Villa. Too strong on the look. Offensive board by Connors is good. King with some space, mid-range, no. And a foul called here on Connors. I think her fourth. Clark checking back in here for Pleasant Grove.
Stepping back into the Vikings, number 13, Clark.
Wilson fouled on the shot. Kennedy working her way to the free throw line as Janice called for her fourth as well. 2 free throws here for Kennedy. She's been the leading scorer tonight for Lone Peak. Hit 2 threes in that first half, had a 3 to start the second half. A pair of free throws there for Lone Peak. As PG trying to push it up the floor, knocked out of bounds. Stay here with the Vikings. Nordstrom working over for Villa, couldn't connect. It's Lone Peak basketball. Trap coming over. Harness working inside. Pope has the open look. That 3 won't go. Offensive board there by Harness. Woolston, her 3 was short. Pope with the board. King's 3 is good. And a timeout taken by Lone Peak. 61-48. PG leading Lone Peak in a full timeout taken here by Coach Warner. Welcome back here to PG, 61-48, Vikings lead. Want to remind you, Lone Peak basketball is brought to you by Jace, the right meds the moment you need them. Check out jace.com, that's J-A-S-E, jace.com, and use the discount code Lone Peak to get a discount on your next order. Again, the right meds the moment you need them at jace.com. Little meeting here of the minds of the officials. I think we got everything squared away. Got to get it in, they do. Aaliyah. Back over to Janice. As PG really spread things out here. So Lone Peak defense trying to put pressure on. Good opportunity for them to work on some of their full court and late game situations. As a missed shot has Woolston running the floor. Kennedy step around. Count the bucket. Unofficially 15 for Kennedy tonight. As PG gets it ahead as we approach the final minute here of regulation. The lob to Villa. Boy, the length of this PG team is going to be a real problem in 5A. We've seen Villa and Clark both over 6 feet. Had big offensive nights. Nice spin move there by Peyton Warner. Wouldn't go, and Villa with the board. Outlet sent up. Sikander able to possess it. As PG here will head to the line as Lone Peak will give the foul here with Harness. And it will be Janice here to take a pair. 35 and change on the clock. As there will be less than 1 second differential, game clock to shot clock here His first free throw rims out. One more here. Second one good. Woolston, no, but fouled. Kennedy here will head to the free throw line. Is this called on Via? Her second. Kennedy, take two here for Lone Peak. One more here for Kennedy. Back to Zuri. Long baseline, Sikander. Shot clock turned off here. Clark trapped and fouled. This will go on King. Tabby Clark, I've got her with 19 tonight. She'll head to the line, a chance to get over 20. She averages 20. And with her shooting, she hit 5 threes tonight. Real sharp from long range for PG is her first free throw off the front of the rim. 15 seconds to go here. We're actually not quite certain what the discussion here is for.
One more shot left for Clark.
PG bench looked content with the explanation. I'm not quite certain what it was, but smiles over there. Clark hitting her second free throw. Woolston gives back. That three from Charlie won't go. Batted around. PG with it. Final seconds coming off the clock. The Vikings improved to 9-0. They jumped out to the early lead and hold on through a couple of Lone Peak surges. 65-52 your final score as PG gets the win. Thank you so much for joining us here for Lone Peak basketball on KSLSports.com. Lone Peak off to tournaments, but come join us on January 6th. We'll be back, as will Lone Peak, as they will take on Farmington at home. Come check that game out at Lone Peak. If you can't, come join us on the stream. We'll have it for you live on KSLSports.com.